going to judge them for what they did. But you got to think about it. Oh my God, I don't want to go into this because this is going to go into a whole new thing. The word of God says we have to test the spirit by the spirit. Test the spirits by the spirit.
Come on.
And when you speak about that, you have to understand that this was the will of God, that they did crucify him. Many people would say that's the enemy coming to kill him. That's the enemy that's coming to make him die.
This.
Because Peter literally stood there when Jesus said, oh, I have to die. I'm going to be crucified.
About it.
Peter said, oh no, Father, Rabbi, you're going to live forever. Jesus told Peter, get behind me, Satan. Because this is the will of God that I do die. That God will literally see it. I'm telling you, God will work in people's life to come against you.
Oh, you better talk about it.
Listen.
You come on, talk about it.
God will literally use these things to happen because he have a will that has to be fulfilled. So these people was in position to crucify Jesus because it was the will of the Father so that he may get back to us.
Yeah.
Because we were separated.
Yeah.
He was doing that with us in mind. He put in place, I'm going to use these Pharisees, the lie, and do this and do that. I'm using, listen.
He said he'll make it work for our good, woman.
I tell you one thing, your enemies are on Jesus' payroll. Everybody work for God.
Your enemies, did y'all hear that? Your enemies.
Everybody work for God. The people I'm telling you, it is not the people because we're wrestling out against flesh and blood. But every spirit that comes up, you don't know if God sent that evil spirit himself. He said that's why you have to test the spirits. By the spirit of God.
Yes.
To know that you're not wrestling against God for allowing this to happen in your life.
You got to know.
Because you don't know the end of this thing, of what God is doing. So God will literally send an evil spirit.
You said something there. We got to make sure and be careful because when people say pray, you got to make sure you're not praying against the will of God.
Sis, I'm finna shout now. Don't do it. Don't.
Could it be
Don't
that
do
God is his will?
It's his will that you in what you in.
It's intentional. It's purposeful.
Listen.
Oh, because God is going to get. There go the glory. God is going to get the glory.
Jesus.
Oh, we talked about that
We
glory.
talked about the glory.
Oh, we talked about